Welcome, welcome. Melfi best deck. I love your enthusiasm, my guy. I love it. Hopefully everything sounds all right. Let's do live chat. Sorry, anything. What's up, Evan? How you doing? Hopefully everything is coming clear through your side. Good day, Calusa. Hope you're doing well. Good day. Sounding like an Australian type of good day, mate. How's everyone doing today? Let's see here. Get out some Infernoble bar spinner. Yo, what's up? How you guys doing? Speaking of Infernoble, yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing test hands of today, and just kind of discussing things, seeing how all my guys are doing, all my new fans, new subscribers, old subscribers, how everyone's doing. Kind of a boring Monday for me. Lost, I cannot take the title of Infernoble Goat. Sadly, I cannot. I'll take the title as an Infernoble Knight if you catch my drift. Good, Calusa, good. I mean, if you responded to me, that means we're doing good. Oh. Is it warm where everyone else is at? We have a nice 80-degree day today. The window's open, letting some fresh air in. Oh. So just so everyone knows, since there is just 8 people here, if you happen to miss this live stream, it will be uploaded on the channel later. So then if you have to dip out for whatever reason, life, bathroom, whatever reason, cops break in your door, you can check us out later because this will be uploaded to the YouTube. Yeah, guys, I got these awesome OCG sleeves that I finally ordered. Not what I wanted. Got them. So I got these awesome sleeves like to kind of suit and fit the. What's good, Flex? Glad you can make it. To suit the Infernobles. They weren't too bad. My only complaint is that they are kind of like the insides are red, and I don't really like them. Hey, Charles. Whoa. Hey, Charles. How's it hanging? It's hanging good, my man. Charles Compton. It's going good. So that's my only complaint. There's not a black inside, but for the most part, I kind of like them. And now that we can double sleeve, I can like justify getting these kind of getting these expensive sleeves because now they won't be ruined within like one tournament. I know there's 2 Charles. I don't know, Flex. He's acting kind of sus if you ask me. If you axing me, he's acting kind of sus. But yeah, so figured we'll try to get these back in things since I have upgraded kind of my go out. Sadly, I did a few test live streams last night, and if my audio is quiet, I really cannot fix that. Sadly, Crusadia right now, I do have a new growing second Crusadia list that I've been testing quite a bit. I just got to get a few more ratios correct, and then I'll hopefully have a profile and stuff of that. But the outer sleeves are just like these KMC ones, I believe. I don't know how to describe them. They just have the little bars kind of around the top of them. I bought them as soon as we got the double sleeve rule. I bought like 4 packs of them for like $5.99, and then like the price jumped to $10, and I was like, whew, for once I was early. I blew my load real fast and got them, which is bad in almost any sort of scenario except for this one. But yeah, KMC character sleeves. Thank you, Flex. You're the man. Flexy knows what's going on. We'll go ahead and shuffle it up here and start doing like hypothetical test hands. This deck is so like crazy thought process. You guys can see the smoke. How's it going, Wowzer? Glad you can make it. And at the end of the stream here, if we have enough people, I'll showcase the current going second list I'm working on for my Crusadia, since that is like the main thing. Also, keep your eyes out, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, knights and crusaders, pillagers and peasants, I guess. I don't know. We're going to have our first ever member monthly deck profile launch Wednesday here, so I'm going to go ahead and cut here. And let's just see what our first hand is. Ooh. Wow, the curse really does carry over. Man, but that's okay. Oh, that's even worse. Renaud, connector, and all. Well, this end's actually quite busted. Liam, I know your name. I know all my members' name. Liam. So this hand's actually really busted, guys. I'm not going to lie. We opened this, but I should have a combo coming out. You're going to get a first-hand look at it, actually. Because this combo, like all you need is connector plus this, and you have a combo to play with the Colt Wing in hand. And I'm showcasing that, I think, Friday. So you guys are going to get early access. But really what it's going to do is it's going to see if I can remember how to do it. So we're going to go ahead and normal connector. Connector is going to get us that Aqua Dolphin, and we're going to get that valuable hand knowledge, which is so important. We look at their hand. They have a handful of hand traps. We actually just cry. If they have Ash or anything like that, we rip it out. If they have Nibiru, we're actually fine. To be honest with you, if they have the Nibiru, we're actually pretty solid because we can just summon this. So that's 3 summons. Summon this. That's 4 summons. Add this back for whatever reason. This and this, or whatever you want, can make Herald before we even have to commit our Isolde, which is pretty crazy. But we're gonna see their hand. But this is the big kicker right here, is having this darn Colt Wing here. I swear, man, the curse transfers from deck to deck. If I played a deck that played 0 bricks, I would probably see a brick. Crawler would somehow float in there. But for the sake of the video, we're not really gonna look at the hand. We're just gonna go ahead and go here and make Isolde, Ash bait, practically hand trap bait, if you ask me. Gregory Hudson, the mat is listed on my website. It is actually down in the description below. If it's not, because it's been a while since I live stream, head over to one of my recent videos. It should be down there. teamcogcompany.site. It should be there. We need one more. I've actually been kind of testing Lancelin, but Lancelin's only good to get Durandal, and after that, it's not too great. I've been kind of tinkering around with playing the Hyper Librarian and summoning it super early. Striker Alter, guys. Oh, man. See, I'm not a monkey, but if I was a monkey, I would probably say, Striker. Isolde, Sin, 8 equip, summon Gilbert. Yeah, got him. Didn't see that coming. We'll just go and add red layer here because we just have free real estate practically. We can use Isolde. Ooh, we did happen to open this, which is kind of bad. But no, that's fine. Actually, that's... Oh, no, that's still bad. We'll just send Metal Silver here and send DDR. Because I'm going to showcase you guys how we can actually... this is actually pretty cool. The same combo is going to show up Friday, which goes a little bit more in depth. But I got to see if I can remember it, because this deck has so many lines of, play to do. It's actually quite crazy. But we'll go here and summon that. Lost Cheese. Well, there you go. We're striker players. Summon out Gimba. I mean... Link for Link Cross, am I right? He's called the Worst Duelist, and it's his YouTube name. I didn't you didn't just call him that. I didn't just decide to call him the Worst Duelist. That is just his YouTube name. And for the life of me, there it is. I still need to fit this guy in. This guy is crazy. If you open Oliver, you have the full old school combo with Metal Marcher, but it's like a subpar combo if you don't happen to open the 1 card extender, I think. But because in my mentality, just the way I play, guys, I'm always trying to end on Charles. And let's be honest, Charles is if he's equipped right, you don't even need the roll and pop. It's hard to deal with him in general. But we'll just keep moving on. This madman engaged the 1. Pot agreed to 1, I say. Pot agreed. So then we go here. I just kind of got to remember the play to do. You guys are going to get the first-hand experience on how to combo with Hulk, or how to combo with the Colt Wing. Let's go here, here, here. You know what's kind of ironic, guys, is that this token was released, this OTS, and it shows the Girsu's hand holding the what is it called? Oh my goodness, I can't remember. It's Cortana is to Master Chief. It's the hologram. And on my Girsu Rising playmat, he was doing that. Konami being kind of sus, if you ask me. But this comes back. We turn this right here, and these 2 tokens, which are level 3 tokens, not level 1, to wherever it may be. Power Tool. That's not Power Tool. We're kind of fumbling here. There's Power Tool. We go Power Tool. Power Tool effect. We just reveal 3 of our Monster Reborn. And then we... See, this is where we normally banish for Phoenix Blade, if we wanted to, or pitch the card we added. But we'll pitch this summon here. We will then... God, I can't remember. I can't remember what we do. I think we summon this out here, grab back, DDR. No, I don't think we do that yet. I don't think we do that. I think we turn Oliver and the level 3 token into our Balmug. And see what you do. No. We did. We messed up. Okay. Go back. Retrack. Bring it back now, y'all. We do go here. Summon here for this to add us this. Because we're not going to get the Despot. I remember now. We get this back here. We then go ahead and we banish 2 if we want. Banish these 2 for Phoenix Blade. To add this back. We then... Nope, excuse me. You banish the Gimba. Man, this combo is hard. So then, because it's put me on the spot, that's really what's happening here. Is we go here for Balmug. And if I remember correctly, we will not get the Despot back, but we have plenty of extenders to do that. You know what I'm saying? We got plenty of extenders galore. But we'll go ahead and fire off Living Fossil. No, we don't fire off Living Fossil here. Goodness. We go DDR, pitch in here. So, did I pitch the wrong card? Gosh, I did. Misplay after misplay. Yeah, the token is level 3. We use this pitching the Cult Wing. And if I were to do this like 2 nights ago, it'd be on point because I had the combo memorized. But you use Auroradon's effect, Tribute, the power tool, destroy Balmug. Balmug gets destroyed and brings back this. And then this should be an attack just because. And then this summons out 2 level 3 tokens. You then do these guys here for our Herald of the Arclight, which will go right here. You then use Gimba and the other level 3 token into Roland. You activate Roland's effect during the end phase, and then you go here for Charles. There we go. That was a lot harder to remember than I thought. And since you did happen to open Olivier, you just use Olivier's effect to equip here. In phase, Roland's effect will activate. You send, I think I'm going to go ahead and just send Durandal, I believe, because we don't have access to that. Send Durandal, add ourselves the Gearfried, which I promised my friends that if I won the box tournament that I did win, I would get a collector's rare. So rip my wallet, I got to get a collector's rare. But we do that, and then Charles' effect during the end phase will activate, and we'll get to equip ourselves Metal Silver from there and grab from the deck the Ogier. So that's kind of what you can do with Cult Wing. But as you guys can clearly see, it does take a few brain cells to process, especially if you're not too keen to it. Like I said, I just kind of play tested hand after hand after hand and got stuck with Cult Wing. So there you guys go. We have 4 cards in hand. We have practically our entire board is untargetable. Charles cannot be targeted or destroyed, and we do have the old Roland to kind of come out and make Charles a Dryden, which is quite crazy if you ask me. Not to mention Herald. Something I should go ahead and state since I have everyone's attention, and for those who chime in after the live stream is over. When I said this card stops droplets, it doesn't start Dark Ruler, but it stops droplets. If the opponent opens droplets plus a handful of monsters, it then kind of stops droplets, because in order for them to pitch, they can't pitch from the hand because it's banished instead. So they have to commit their normal summon to droplet, then droplets send, and then they can only get 1. So that's kind of what I mean, but droplets, this just stops main deck or monsters that are sent from the main deck or hand to the graveyard's banished. So if they open a handful of spells and they have droplets, rip. But if they send a whole bunch of spells, you can respond with a monster. So it's pretty self-explanatory there. So let's just go ahead and wrap it up here. Next one going on. Hopefully we get to keep going. But yeah, that's kind of for the most part, that's what you do with opening Cult Wing. And it's very consistent to see the Oliver with the Cult Wing. Now, see, that was done with Connector, but that can also be done with like Red Layer and or Fire Flint Lady, which is all searchable. It can be done with like the normal summon of Ogier plus Renaud. It's very much doable as long as you have access to Oliver as like part of the combo. And if you don't have access to Oliver and you have Renaud instead, whatever you're missing, you can get further in the combo. It's because we opened both of them. We had to skip the step of Durandal. I think in my combo video that's coming up Friday, you actually have to grab Durandal off the power tool instead of the living fossil, and then you grab whichever one you're missing, whether it be one of these two. Does anyone bring back Belmug to get back a Herald? I have not had to do that yet, but the fact that Belmug, you can just bring back Belmug and destroy it, like with living fossil, and then like destroy it, and then it reborns in the grave is pretty crazy. Actually, no, it banishes itself. If you monster reborn and stuff like that, it's pretty crazy. Or if you use DDR to banish it and then bring it back with extra monster zones not being fully exposed, so like the zones on your Orcus Met. Broke Duelist, technically I could go do that. The only reason that these are like full zoned is because like the Orcus and the Echomex, or Gear Suit and Echomex, was because they were a part of a series, the two that made the whole playmat. I don't plan to make another side of this, so that's why I did it. I can definitely in the future update it to where I can have like the zones will change maybe in like a second waving of them. So I can definitely do that in the future. But right now it would just be, because then I'd have to add like a third option to it. And yeah, I actually had a guy from Brazil reach out to me on I did Rolando, I did. He's right here. I traded out the Quandax for him. And this card, I really don't find myself using him as often, but he does make sticky situations a lot easier, especially since we're not playing that route, since I believe Power Tool's crazy. The fact that it's not once per turn and it just gets you a monster reborn on activation, I think that's just nuts by itself. But the Riser Dragon has come up in some scenarios because you need to hard make Charles sometimes, and you can do that. You can just hard make Charles with the Riser, and Charles is nothing to laugh at. Even if you don't make Roland through your combo, and Charles is sitting here with like Metal Silver, Oliver, and Ogier, and that's all that you have, it's still problematic because it's really hard to like solve because Charles is 35 and it can't be targeted, it can't be destroyed. So like even if they hard summon that card that is the bane of my existence, Dragoon, they still can't get over Charles, and that's without even having an interruption. It's almost like at the bare bone minimum, you're going to have like towers. You're going to have me in a full suit of armor that can't be moved. Well, Flexi, you are a man of culture. And Spatha is Bay. So is Arborea. We'll do another one. A buddy of mine consistently ends on Charles Herald Savage and can occasionally also hit Dweller. Can you showcase at least the Herald Savage Charles combo? I sure can, actually. I'll do that real fast. It's very almost... So let's just add in an extender. So any two warriors will always get you to Herald and Charles. So you add in an additional extender, whether it be Oliver or even Renaud. Renaud's definitely the better one because it adds back, but Oliver does the same thing. Oliver's better because it can extend if your Isolde gets hit. It ends you on that. So I'll quickly just run it through. Run it back now, y'all. Showcasing like the worst potential hand here. And it's all self-contained. It really is. So it just like, you special here. You go ahead and make Isolde. Isolde will more than likely... So even here, if you're scared of hand traps, don't activate Isolde's effect because if it gets gammaed, kind of rough. But you normally have two other cards in your hand to play with. So it very well could work, but for the most part, no interruption. They are no rules. Add another red layer. It doesn't matter. So this is how it's kind of self-contained. Pay cost. You can send whatever. I kind of like sending DDR. I'm not going to lie, because if this happens to be Olivier, you can just grab back the DDR for extra extension later on. But since we're playing that it's, Oliver, we will actually just kind of do this combo differently. I'm trying to find Gimba. I probably looked over it already. Trying to watch chat and do this at the same time so I can answer any questions. There it is. There's Gimba. You just turn Gimba and Isolde become our, wherever he may be at, Halifibrax, who is surviving. Perfect. There was Despot. You go here into this guy. This guy brings out the tokens, and then Despot comes back. Despot and the tokens, which are treated as level 3. Do keep that in mind. I just like the World Legacy tokens. So treated as level 3. You make a 7. And I do know there is a way to combo by like making a shooting Riser Dragon here. But I don't like that combo. I just, for some reason, that doesn't suit my fancy. I enjoy going Power Tool instead. Power Tool, you reveal 3 living fossils. I play 3 living fossils, so you just grab it. You use Rodon's effect, tributing the Power Tool and the extra token to summon from the deck the Colt Wing. Colt Wing will then bring out these 2 right here, triggering Despot, and then you turn Despot and the token into Balmug, which, interesting fact for all my Fate fans, that is the name of Siegfried's sword in Fate Stay Apocrypha. Then you fire off Living Fossil, bring back Gimba. Gimba and the level 3 token is a level 5. Gimba gets banished, and this becomes Roland, which is, if you are a fan of A Matter of France, or if you're a history guy, you'll know that Roland kind of dies in the Battle of La Crosse or La Creuse or something French. He dies. It's not a good feeling. But anyway, that's why there's like the horn of Roland. It's him blowing the horn to let Charles know that the rear guard was getting attacked. But anyway, enough history lessons here. To make sure to activate Roland's effect, we're just going to go ahead and put this here. Make Charles, which is myself in anime form, as I say every video. I'm sure people are getting tired of hearing it. And then you use Roland's effect to equip to Balmug. Charles' effect, pop Balmug. You then summon back out Colt Wing. Colt Wing then just gives you the 2 tokens, bringing back out Despot, and we're kind of wrapping it up here. You go here for Herald, and this is where the combo would kind of stop, to be honest with you. It would stop here at Charles and Herald with just the 2 warriors, or the 2 warriors would stop you here. You could potentially, instead of making this, you could use this and make Riser. Use Riser to dump a level 3, make it 4, and it could be Charles and Savage, or Charles and Herald, depending on what route you want to go. But right here, you just, like I said, self-contained, reveal Oliver, pitch the Quantum, summon the Oliver. It's gaining the levels of the level 3 token, so it's a level 7, and level 1 Oliver turn into Savage, or Omega, depending on whatever you want to go. There we go. And then it equips the Hulk. There you go. So practically 2 warriors plus a tuner extender gets you to Charles, Herald, and Savage. Double Herald Appaloosa. I don't really find myself making Appaloosa that much, and I know in the Phantom Knight version you can, but the Phantom Knight version, it plays a lot more bricks, I feel, because to be honest with you, I think Renaud is one of the best extenders you have in the deck. It full-hardenly is such a... Have you read Renaud? If you read Renaud, you'll understand. So having the ability to keep Renaud live at all times is something that I try to prioritize. Whereas if you play the Phantom Knight version, that can put up that right where you special. So sadly, once you resolve a Rorodon, you cannot link summon. So that's why you're stuck with this extra token here. But if we backtrack a hot minute here, just backtrack, and we say this is right there, and we trade out Oliver for Renaud, you'll see kind of a really crazy play. Do take note that we probably ripped our opponent for 1 already. One because we didn't. We didn't open connector. Never mind. So right here, you just special out. Wait a minute, where's Colwing? There we go. You special out Renaud, grab yourself back the DDR that you sent, and then you do this right here. You turn these guys here into Omega to rip a card, and then you can even bring back the Omega and rip another card instead of making Savage. But if you want to rip a card then make Savage, all you do is you activate Phoenix Blade, banishing these guys or whatever. Just make sure you banish Roland, and then you go DDR, pitching this, summon back the Roland, and then Roland and the level 3 become a level 8. So then you go here for your Savage. So by just adding Renaud, you get technically two extra kind of plays added on, which is quite crazy. So I did so. What keeps you from link summoning is as soon as you resolve Auroradon's effect. If this card is link summoned, you can activate this effect. Special summon 3 Mecha Phantom Beast tokens. Machine level win. Also, you cannot link summon for the rest of the turn. So that's why you'll see that people are summoning Appaloosa first using like the what I call the Brick Knights, because they are just I think they're bricks. I think if you don't open Torn Scale, it's Torn Scale or bust. Otherwise, you're playing all the traps. I guess Phantom Knight Shape Brigading is a good card as well. So that card can get you places, but they're just very awkward. And like I said, they make your Renaud very less impactful. That's why I also don't like playing the Armageddon Knight, because you open Armageddon Knight, you have to normal it, or you can very well do the same. Like it's very similar to what you can do with Fire Flint Lady if you open Gimba. Is if you open Gimba, you just summon Fire Flint Lady, tribute self summon Gimba. You can do the same thing with the Armageddon Knight if you brick with it, but you're also like adding in like what happens if you brick with the what's the card, they Plague Spreader as well. You're kind of have the Plague Spreader in your hand, you have to combo differently. So I'm not a fan of that version. I think this is like the closest thing you can truly get to pure Infernobles, as like we're just playing Fire Warrior good stuff kinda. So I think this is the closest thing, and I prefer this list over the others. But that's just my opinion. I'm sure that everyone has their different play styles. I know that like I said, the Phantom Knight version has the ability to put Appaloosa before their 5th summon, so they're able to put Appaloosa up sometimes before they even commit to their Isolde. But sometimes they're able to put up Appaloosa before they make the Hulk, which is really good, but more protection from hand traps essentially. But yeah, so that's how you that's the standard combo. Any 2 warriors give you Charles and Harold. You add in a tuner extender, you get Savage, or if you add Renaud, which is the best case, you get Savage and a Rip with Omega, which is quite crazy, or you get double Omega Rip. And if you happen to open that, so like that's where this kind of becomes crazy. If you open that can be attained, and you can hand loop for 4 by just opening these 2 guys right here, because this right here fulfills the 2 warrior combo. So you just do this, you look at your opponent's hand, you rip 1 card with Dolphin. You then can go. Are the Ignite cards good in this deck? Yes, they are, but they only become better than what's being played now if we lose Hulk or Auroradon. Winter Kills does a Ignite variant where he doesn't play Hulk at all or Auroradon, and it's able to consistently put up a app for 2 to 3 and a Link Creeble to protect the app and a Charles. So I can sure try. Most case, do take note, everything's searchable. You are technically playing 9 copies of this, so it's just kind of, we'll do this. This guy right here, will be a rip for 4. Let's go ahead and throw me 2 ashes that I can pitch. Just 2 random cards. You know what? Let's even give us a powerful extender that we chose to rip as well. So this right here, we'll show you. So you go ahead and special your extender, whether this be Fire Flint or Connector, you special it. You then normal Connector. You use a Connector. There's our hand right here. These 2 cards don't matter. Connector comes out here. You use the effect of Dolphin. Pitch your first card. There's 1 card. You look at their hand. You rip 1 card out of their hand. You then link these 2 here to Isolde, and if you see their hand, you know what they have, so you know if you can use the effect or not. But let's say they have a Ghost Bell, or no, let's say they have, I don't know. It's really kind of crazy. Let's say they only had 1 hand trap and they have we're just going to rip 4. Let's just do that. Effect, you're going to add yourself you can add yourself any Fire Warrior. You can go ahead and add Gearfree here. I don't really matter. Dolphin's effect to tribute itself to bring back out the Dolphin. Connector's effect, tribute itself, bring back out the Dolphin. Dolphin's effect, pitch the other card in your hand. There's 2 cards ripped. Isolde effect, you pay cost by sending DDR and Living Fossil. You have to send DDR in this scenario because that's how you're going to rip 4 cards. So you send DDR. And don't forget to summon out Gimba. Can't believe I almost forgot about that. There we go. Gimba and Isolde become Hulk. Hulk will then summon out our Despot, which is wherever he may be. So there's Despot. You then turn Despot and the Aqua Dolphin into Barricade Board Blocker. You do this for space. That's pretty much the only reason you're doing it. If you happen to not have DDR or be able to get access to it, this is also where you could pitch the Cult Wing if you also opened it. You turned these two here into our, whatever it may be, Cult Wing. Cult Wing then summons out the tokens. We're getting very familiar with the combo, I assume. You guys are getting pretty in touch with it. Despot comes out. Despot and the two tokens turn into Power Tool. Because you need to save Roland for later in the combo, and I'll explain why. There's no particular need. You could go Roland there, but you need Roland to step up into Charles later on in the combo. Again, you reveal 3 Living Fossil. If you open Living Fossil, reveal Durandal. Durandal will get you even more extension. Effect, you tribute these two here to summon out Cult Wing. Cult Wing then brings out, wherever it may be, Mecha Phantom Beast. There it is. Of course, Cult Wing goes here. Sorry about the glare. We get the tokens. Here comes Despot. Despot and the token become Balmug. Living Fossil back the Gimba. See, this is where we need that step up. You use Gimba and the level 3 token to make Roland. Roland. A Roland's effect during end phase. So like right here, we're still doing the standard combo as you're probably noticing. We're just building like the typical board, but because of that scenario, we're gonna, So as it was just connector, add in 2 warriors outside the connector, so it turns a 3-card into a 4-card combo, pretty much. But Roland to equip to Balmug. Charles effect, pop the Balmug. Summoning out the Cult Wing. In the far zone is where I like to put it. Here we go. Here comes our man. We turn this into Herald. And then you go ahead and special summon out Renaud. Renaud will grab you back the DDR that you sent with Isolde. You then turn these two here into Omega. You then use Omega's effect, banishing itself. You have then ripped them for 3. You then can banish these 2 to add back Phoenix Blade. You then fire off DDR, pitching this to bring back the Omega. Again, go right here. You then use Omega's effect to banish itself again. And there you have it. You ripped them for 4 cards. Pretty, I wouldn't say explanatory, but that's practically how you do it. This gets sent away. And if I do remember correctly, they will not get the first card they added that was banished off Omega, because this Omega is returning, and this Omega banished the second card, so that first card is lost in the banish zone because that first Omega is not coming back. But there you go. That's how you rip 4. When I went to the box tournament, this is actually how I ended up winning against So I lost. My first loss was to a Tri-Brigade player that I played for first, second in the top 8, and I beat him again. But yeah, if you could do 5 and have Omega on board, if you have DDRs, yeah, straight up. As you guys can tell, like, if you have, we did not have to pitch this. We did not have to keep the Gearfried. You search the Gearfried, and then if, like, you had this instead of, like, the Monster Reborn, you could pitch this, and you could have this again, and you could do it again. It's, yeah. If you hard open a DDR, you can do it again and rip all 5. But this is still kind of difficult in its own sense because, like, it's the end phase that kind of matters. Roland's effect will activate during the end phase. You're going to get the whole... You're going to add Renaud by sending the Metal Silver. Metal Silver will then add... Charles will equip the Metal Silver, and then we'll equip the Oliver from hand. So now they technically will have only 2 cards to be able to practically crack this board. And it's not really going to happen. I'm sorry. Charles, nothing can be targeted. Charles is going to be able to pop something. If they don't, or they're not able to make a move during the end phase, Charles can just grab, pick up another equip spell if he wants to. It's truly up to whatever you want to do, but you're going to have 2 cards. I'm definitely trying to lock this deck in. I've been running zombies. Okay. Let's see here. My biggest question for the combo decks like this is what to side out and what to put in side deck cards. Okay, I can touch base on that as well since we're here. So normally, what I try to side out is very very easy. There's certain extenders that are just extra. And it also depends what you're going against as well. Now, that means like if you're playing back row decks, you're probably not going to side out your Harpy's Feather Dust or your back row removal. You're going to keep them in. But if you are playing against like a back row heavy deck, the cards I always cut out, the 3 cards that always go out in my list is one of these and 1 red layer and the Harpies. And now these 3 cards always come out no matter what. Unless I'm playing a back row heavy, then I just sack out the Monster Reborn because you play so many. You have 3 searchable Monster Reborns. You can also count DDR as a Monster Reborn as well. You normally I just side out wherever it is Monster Reborn, depending on the matchup. And then you can get a little bit more extensive when it comes down to siding. So like imagine you're playing another combo mirror, so you can side out this and this. So there's 4 cards. You can even, and you know you need hand traps, you're going second, you need to side out 2 more cards. A lot of times I have found myself even siding out Rhoda and 1 Oliver because Oliver is extremely searchable in the strategy via Heritage, Durandal, Ogier. So these are like the 6 cards I always catch myself signing out to go in. Now, as far as like my side deck goes, I'll talk to you real quick or tell you guys what like the choices of side decking comes in. If I'm going second and I know what I'm playing against, this is supposed to be the Wind Kaiju, siding Kaijus, because if it's not even bird up, Kaiju, a Dragoon, Kaiju, Kaiju that Buster that's locked, you put those in. If you know you're going against, like I said, combo, here are these cards right here. These are always to go in against combo and depending on what you can. So this deck actually does have a very good ability to crack boards. I think it's better than most, I'd say. So sometimes you don't even side in the Dark Ruler no more because you're just going to be able to crack a board regardless. As soon as Hulk resolves, you practically won the game because that's just how good. And you have different ways to pursue that through your combo, whereas I don't think that Dark Ruler is as necessary. But if you're playing against a very hyper combo deck, like I'm trying to think of, like it's going to be, if you guys, my video dropped today, but like World Chalice is a really good example. Like a combo deck like that puts out a crazy win condition, you need Dark Ruler. Floodgate type monsters, like the new Dragoonity when they come out, when they have like the 3 interruptions, well, you can't even activate spells, so I mean, you lose anyway, but these are normally the 6 hand traps I go in, depending on the matchup. If Lancey is bad, Dark Ruler no more. If Lancey is good, I normally don't put in Dark Ruler no more. No matter what, and of course, Titty Twisters here go in for that all-important game 3. But I will find myself game 3, which this deck does. This deck can 2-0 easily, but sometimes this deck always takes it to game 3. Judgment goes in for these 3 cards right here most of the time. And I know it's kind of crazy because you're cutting a consistency extender, but you play so many it's okay, but these go in because you don't want to lose to the blowout cards such as Dark Ruler droplets. And then worst case, you Judgment a normal summon on a deck and then you kind of win. The deck, I couldn't tell you. I know I got my Renauds at 15 and my Gearfried at 15 as well. And then for the most part, everything else is really cheap. There's budget alternatives for everything. Well, not really budget. I think budget's a great term. There's lower rarity for all things. Like I think the DDRs are like $10 a pop. Not the DDRs, I wish. The Living Fossils are $10 a pop for the secrets, but they come in common. If you don't have a way to get Gearfried out, yes, there is. I will showcase you that right now, my man. Since you asked and I saw your thing. It's very simple. It's so the way you play around Nibiru is you have to have a level 3, sadly, is right here. Let's just go ahead and do this right here. I think this is it. You do that, you have to have like a pitch. So let's just assume, let's say you open Gearfried. That will be the best case scenario. You open the Gearfried. There you go. Well, no, never mind. I'm misthinking here. One second. I got to think. There is a way, but you have to open connector because you want to see the Gearfried and know that you can make it. I think you just need, again, it's very similar to, like I said, like as most everybody know, the best 2-card combo in the deck has against anti-Nibiru is Ogier plus Durandal. It gets you an anti-Nibiru combo or anti-hand trap combo with Gearfried pretty easy. But this right here is a way I believe this is a way that we play through it. We could actually even substitute Oliver here for Renaud, and Renaud will give us like less of an effect because we won't get to add back. But this right here is just really how you do it. So use your extender, which is red layer, or if you have the Fire Flint Lady, do that. But you normal connector, and connector will get you the dolphin. Now this is where you pitch a random card from your hand to look at your opponent's. We'll throw in a random card here. Let me just get dolphin. We'll just say this, just for simplicity. Pitch card. Look at your opponent's hand. They have a rock. So currently you'd be like, you have no way to rip the rock. So let's say you look at their hand, you see rock, ash, rip, ash. So how do you get around it? This is 1, 2, 3 summons right here. Special Renaud or special Oliver because you can. And then you turn these two here into Herald. That's how you do it. And then these go into Isolde, and then you're no longer can be rocked. Yep, Zach's right. You're practically paying for Hulk and access code if you want to play access code. I have a budget option for this. It's called Borolo Dragon. It served really well and it does really good, but no cards like access code. This deck can just easy make access and then you win. It's pretty simple. But like I said, if you can't afford the, let's put that there out of the glare. If you can't afford the, oh, okay. Whoops. Okay, let's go back then. All right, so let's just, okay. We don't actually, that's all we need. We will just flip this upside down just so, because that could become important later in the combo as well. So let's see here. We'll put that there. Just remember, Glary Boy here is that you turn the other two into Isolde. Something that you could potentially do if you have the extra cards, which I don't think you would. You have 5 cards. You special, normal, special, pitch. You have 1 card left in hand. You could, in theory, before you even make Isolde, you could tribute this to bring this back, and then pitch and rip another card from their hand. Just do keep that in mind. You then use this to add yourself Gear Free, because you know what their hand is. You know they have the rock. So I guess my question to you is, are they going to use the rock now that they know that this is here? But we'll play that now that they see that we have it, they're not going to rock us. We'll just make it kind of simple. Now that they know we have Herald, they're not going to rock us. They're going to hold the rock for whatever reason. I guess like you said, maybe they're like, oh, he has awkward space. So this combo is very similar to comboing with Gearfried, as I just saw one of the comments say. It's very similar to comboing with Gearfried because Gearfried is going to take the space, but it's going to be, I think, a little wonky. So we go there. Hulk will summon out Despot, and then we start to go out our combo that way. Come on, Despot. Here, boy. There you go. And then Hulk. And this become the big silly plane. Silly plane. 3 tokens. Despot. We go Despot. And the token become our here. Grab ourselves the living fossil. I do remember it is at random, but if you have 3 living fossil, Auroradon to tribute, to summon out. I think Coltwing was back up here. There he is. Coltwing go here. This effect to go here and here. And this comes out. So then we have to, let's see here. We can go right here. So I guess in theory, if you do play 2 Heralds, you could do double Herald, right? Double Herald, that'd be a play. But I don't play 2 of that, so we're just going to do what I think we can do. Which would be make another level 4, which will be Balmug. Balmug won't do anything except for if he is destroyed, we can Monster Reborn. So there's not much we can really do there, but Living Fossil to bring back this, as you know, this and that become Roland. Wherever he may be, Roland's effect. And we're playing that we don't have the Oliver in hand to equip. Otherwise, that just makes it a little bit too strong in a sense. But we go here for Charles. You could, I'm trying to think here, technically speaking, you really could do almost, you could pop this and bring back the, what is it? You could pop this, bring back the, connector, bring back Dolphin if you want to, or just bring back Dolphin and rip another card. It really depends, but for the most part, this is kind of like what the ending board is going to be. That's assuming that they leave the Herald here and they don't try to rock you. In which case, if they got rid of rock, it's just the same old thing, except it's just going to be you'll put up a Savage with Charles instead. And what I mean by that, I have not. I've been actually trying to understand or trying to get a better understanding of the Draco set combos. Like I'm trying to learn them so I can like try and showcase them and see what they do. But the only way that I get it is like Draco set gives you more tokens. Draco set can destroy Balmug and stuff like that. But so yeah, I mean, let's go ahead. I'll go ahead and show you hypothetically. Say they tried to rock you because they want to use it and you tributed Herald. So now you have more space. So then you just do the typical Roland effect equipped to Balmug. Charles effect to destroy Balmug. Balmug to bring back Coltwing. Coltwing will then summon out the 2 tokens. You then get yourself this. You then turn these guys here. This is one of the things where Shooting Riser comes up into Riser. But since you happen to... we opened the guy there. I don't think we actually play a level 3 warrior, whereas we could Foolish. Let's see here what we have. Savage Omega. So like we have to play a level 3, and I don't think we have it, to be honest with you. We could level 2. Well, no, we do technically play level 3. What do you know? Ash Blossom coming in clutch. You send a level 3. Its level becomes level 3. We already used Aqua Dolphin in the turn. Yeah, Abyss Knight, that's exactly. Yep. Risers, level 3. Go here for Savage. Savage then grabs the Hulk. And then there you go. In phase, Roland resolves, dumping the... Dump in the ye old metal silver. Grab yourself Renaud. Charles then equips metal silver and equips the from the grave. Now, like I said, we do have Oliver kind of just hanging out here upside down as one of the random cards we pitched. If this happened to really be Oliver, you would equip Oliver earlier and then equip Ogier, and then there you go. But yeah, so there you go. That's kind of how you play around. That's another like a Anti-Net Buru hand trap combo. But like it's not as good as the Ogier and the Durandal because it requires 3 cards, whereas that just requires 2. So it's definitely different. But yeah, so yeah. There's that combo. If I had Draco Sack, I'd say someone should teach me the combos right now. But I don't have Draco Sack. I've been wanting to try and test Doppel Warrior, but the more and more I try to get involved with that card, the more I realize, like, if you don't open Oliver, it's kind of dead. And I don't like that. I really don't want to not open Oliver. But, I mean, like, if you don't open Oliver, it's dead, and that means it's a brick in your deck. Whereas, like, you can't open Renaud with it, if that makes sense. Because Renaud can't summon itself. So, like, you have to... It's open Oliver bust for that, like, explosive combo, but it's I guess. But I'm going to take a quick drink, my guys. One of the good things, or bad things still, is since I had COVID, I don't have my taste back. So I just kind of drink and eat to stay alive. But let's go ahead and shuffle it up here. Gamma is by far, like, I have a love-hate relationship with this card, too. This card is phenomenal, I think. What do people think about Quick Play Spell, Glory of the Noble Knights? Mr. Cosmo, that was kind of like my immediate thought when the deck came out, but I feel like it is not necessary. To be honest with you, it is... I just believe it's not necessary. Anybody got a super secret Harvest for this? They want to send you boy here so I can get rid of this nasty gold rat out of my deck? You know you guys want to. But it's just... It's not needed, I don't think. Because the only card technically in the list that you would tie to... have you ever seen Dueling Archives on YouTube? He showcases a guy called Elijah Green on Dueling Book who only plays Infernoble when he's really great with the deck, and he's been playing Red Draco. I have not, actually. I'll have to look that up. I've asked, like, the Infernoble group, and they haven't... really answered my question on what you can do with it, but it's pretty rude to his opponent. Ugh, well, no honor in that. No honor in that. Well, I mean, if you really think about it, if you're hand ripping your opponent for 4 cards, even in this deck, I mean, even if you are, as a person, are nice to them, are you really being that nice? You kind of just put more salt on the wound. Actually, in that tournament where I ended up playing that guy and looping him for cards, he was like, I didn't know Infernoble could still do that. I'm not going to let that happen again. And of course, me in my mind was like, you can try, but I'm gonna be able to. This deck is crazy. I'll be able to do it again, like a Goofy meme. I'll do it again, hook. But he ended up siding so many hand traps that I looked at his hand and it was just certain death. It was almost like a 300 scene where they like, my hand traps will block out the sun, and we're like, so we will fight in the shade, and then we just get whacked on. But that is kind of how you can play through. I mean, like, this deck has so many different routes, guys. Like, it's very much very simple. Why people think this deck is death, it isn't. To be honest with you, YuGiOh, I don't know. I really don't know. That is why, like, I'm actually think it's crazy. This deck right here, it got hit, but as you guys have witnessed, I'm still able to do what I'm able to. And the old Pack stuff have been the best. Yes, I watch a lot of Pack. He's actually one of the YouTubers I really like and I really support. I actually sent him one of my mats because watching his videos is what really got me interested in the Infernobles. But he can be died with Dark Ruler no more. Yeah, this deck does not have a way to, unlike Crusadia, where you can, like, I don't know any other deck that can do it, but Crusadia can set up like a weird, if they have a quick play and then the trap, they can like negate Dark Ruler no more. This deck does not have anything like that. We kind of lose, but at the same time, we kind of just gotta hope that our big boss monsters, and we have such an amazing follow up. It's pretty good. Guess that's why they think. Floridian. I think once the deck got hit, everybody who played the deck because it was like hand loop really good dropped it. I truly that's what I believe, is they dropped it because it can no longer hand loop your entire hand, and that's why they dropped it. And then you have the pure OGs. Like, hey, like, I'm not even gonna. I just said I love Pack, but I think that's the reason why Pack stopped playing it. They thought like, oh, Link Cross is gone, deck's not good, and then he ended up rebuilding it, and he still hasn't gone back to it like fully like he was. But I feel like to me, that's what makes me go to the deck. This deck is no longer meta, but this deck is still so good. And especially since it's under the radar, it does something that almost it does the one thing that a lot of decks don't do anymore, and that is put up Herald. I'm not going to lie, Herald is such a bomb card, it's such an awkward floodgate. The fact that this deck can still put up Herald, and then not only put up Herald, but you have practically a Royal King that can, like, pop stuff to protect the Herald is crazy. But I don't know. I think that people just, since it was no longer could rip the entire hand, they fell off of it. But it's all, it's almost like Dragon Link. Dragon Link was seeing little to no play when Virtual World, and like this deck also kind of had a better VFD than Virtual World because we had like a 1-card VFD. I would say it's tier 2, Jen Carl. I would say it's tier 2. It's definitely like, so there's a lot of things that go into a deck being tier, and that's like how good it is, and then representation. It has like not a lot of representation, but the deck is really good. It's also not no monkey deck. It takes like at least if I can play it, 5 brain cells to be able to work. So it's a very rewarding deck, and it's a very skillful deck that rewards good plays and is also at the same time a very forgiving deck, but not so forgiving that you could butcher your entire combo and get to like something good. It's very forgiving in the sense as if you get interrupted or if you mess up yourself at least one time, you're able to recover from that and still put up like Charles Herald. Like 2 warriors to get you Charles and a Herald. It's crazy. And then I like this guy too. I like Ogier. I think Ogier is crazy. But I do get the reason. Zach, man, you are exactly right. It definitely could be a tier 2, but it's just hard to play successfully, and nobody wants a deck that's hard to play when they can flip Summon Limit and Summon Dragoon and win that way. But this deck, there's a lot of things that even moved me to this deck away from, like, as if you guys are new to the channel or you guys are old. I used to play Crusadia religiously. I was actually where I got a lot of my popularity was from that deck. I've got 2 regional invites with the deck. One when it was like a tier 2 deck, and then one when they said that after Agripane got banned, they're like, deck's dead, and I went to a regional in Denver and topped that regional without Agripane. So, like, it's definitely different than that deck because this deck has so much difference. Like, I have never like played a deck to where you can get your normal summon, or you can get your normal summon like effect interacted with. You can get your Isolde interacted with. You can get both Isolde's effects interacted with, negated, and then still make Howlk. Like you can work through 3 interruptions. You get to see the opponent's hand. You get to just do so much. You have anti-Nibiru lines that are like inherent or very searchable in the deck versus having to open like Paralytic Seed is the only way you can do it. Uh, it has not only a great follow-up, it has like the follow-up's amazing. Like you're always searching Gearfried if you didn't open it. You're getting a Renaud, and your follow-up is just through the roof. It's like even if they do break your board, they have to worry about the follow-up that's coming, because I can guarantee you that if they out your board, Gearfried's touching down, and you're more than likely going to even get back the Charles, because you're going to have Renaud special when the Gearfried's there, grab you DDR, Phoenix Blade, banish Charles, banish something else, summon back Charles. The follow-up is just really crazy with the deck. I am just blown away that not a lot of people want to play it. And of course, the best thing about it is it's historic and has card lore that I just love. I'm a huge history guy, a huge card lore guy, and just like that, there you go. Is Noble Knight any good mixed with Noble Knights, the original Noble Knights? So personally, I've seen a lot of hybrid Knights in the Facebook group. I've never tried it myself. They are some interesting plays, and Noble Knights do have some pretty good cards. I think Custonin is a really good one. It gives you an additional normal, but other than that, it hasn't seen any like competitive success, but it is very much playable. Renaud is a hell of a card that can be played in both Noble Knight strategies. Whew. But anyway, I hope everyone's doing good. I actually went and tried to talk to Distributor Day. I'm trying to get a hat put out. I don't want to buy Imperium Duelist hat because I'm not a fan of Imperium Duelist as I once was, and I don't want to buy their hat. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go make my own hat. So I talked to a manufacturer today. He's gonna try and get my logo embroidered so I can start putting out hats. Because if you bought the Team COG shirts, you definitely need to have a helmet and not like you're an actual Crusader helmet, because that's gonna get pretty hot in the summer months. But a good hat to keep your head safe from the sun. So talked to one of them today. Spent most of my day doing that. We're actually moving too, so my office is going to like switch a little bit. Combo, like anti-Nibiru combo right there. Crazy. I hate when this happens. I hate when this happens actually quite a bit. We have so many different lines of play. Oh my gosh, this hand is just jacked. So you have this. This is one of the reasons why I don't like connector. Yeah, you can make Herald, Charles Savage, and if you have one extender, that for 2, you definitely can. You definitely can do that. I've actually seen that. And then if you happen to open the Cult Wing, you can put it back with the Plague. But I still, for some reason, I'm not saying this list is better than that list by any means, but I just don't like that. I don't like sending 4 for Isolde or anything, because they did the English King Arthur stuff, the French Charlemagne. Yes, actually, there is a Roman story. It's like a 3-part. It's a matter of Britain, a matter of France, and a matter of Rome. So we're probably going to get I bet you, mark my words right here, right now, guys, we're going to get something called Honor Noble Knight, or Honorable, and it's going to be like a pun on honorable, but it's going to be Honor Noble Knight, and it's going to have to do with like Roman centurions and stuff like that. I think they're missing stuff, to be honest with so the thing that I notice is like these guys alone, like the Infernobles, they really can't make their own boss monsters. So I was expecting us to get like another bomb starter Infernoble. But this hand's crazy. I don't know which route to even go. Do we go the connector route and get hand knowledge? Do we go the Ogier route and set up Gearfried on our 5th summon? See, this is where I think it's always smart to go for the connector. I know that sounds crazy, but connector, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves that Aqua Dolphin. And then we just go ahead and pitch the Ogier. Look at the hand. If we see, this is again a very explanatory on how easy it is to get to that anti-Nibiru board. We look at their hand. We see Ash and Nibiru. Rip the Ash, Dirndl, send to grab us Fire Flint summon. That's 3 summons. Special, add back, because we did that. That is 4 summons, Herald. Yeah, like outside of Ogier, like there's not really any there's not really like a starter. Ogier is kind of a starter, but Ogier is only a starter if you happen to open like Durandal and Renaud, for sure. But yeah, this hand's quite crazy. I don't know if you guys want me to play this out or not, but it's pretty. There's so many hypotheticals. Like right there, we could have just made Herald under our 5th summon. I mean, we have like it's just crazy. But like this is like the standard combo. Look at the hand. Go here and make Isolde. Isolde goes there. We then can put out add herself Gearfried. Really dreading to buy that collector's rare, but get Gearfried, and then of course we could just go ahead and send these guys. Imagine looking at your opponent's hand and seeing no hand traps, and then you get burned, and your opponent's like, haha, you got burned, but like your hand looked like this, and you're like, listen, you're the one that's gonna feel the burn. Or imagine looking at your opponent's hand with the freaking with the dolphin, and then you get burned for 500, then time in the round's called. I think I'd probably question my sanity. Then I gotta leave. I gotta get on out of here. SpongeBob SquarePants. I'm gonna head out before I start yelling. Before I start spitting. There we go. Go right there. One of my members, if you guys also want to help support the channel, think about becoming a channel member. We play a lot of remote duels. My man, Jean, plays remote duels with me quite a bit. And he's been watching my videos where I've told people, I say it time and time again, everybody and their mother is going to hand trap Isolde. That's what they want to do. Or the effect ad, do you still send a grave as cost? Yes. Yes, you absolutely do. Isolde's effect is sending for cost. So that means like if they imperm this, as long as that thing says negate the act or negate its effects, you can still attempt to use the effects. There's like some sort of wording with it. Maybe someone in the comments can help address that a little bit better. But practically, yes. If you get effect veilored or impermed, you can still activate the effect to send for cost. Because you're still activating. In order to activate, you must pay the cost. It'll like resolve as much as it can, and it will not summon. Come on, guys. Someone in the chat's got to have a secret Harpy's Feather Duster for you, boy. When I draw so many Infernobles, I always want to pitch them with DDR or Dolphin to make Charles a tower. Yeah, that is Jane. That is John. Jan Carl. That is that's why I kind of like thought pitching that. Charles is just going to be one big chungus, and they're going to have to find some way to deal with Charles. But if they find a way to deal with Charles, Charles is also a pop too, which is quite crazy. Despot. Go here for the Phantom Beast. The big silly plane. Summon 3 tokens. Despot comes back. 2 level 3 tokens plus the Despot becomes Power Tool Dragon. Power Tool's effect, we get Living Fossil. We send these 2 with the Auroradon, tribute them to summon from the deck a Colt Wing. And then we go Colt. And see, sometimes, I'm not even going to lie, sometimes even doing test hands like these, it gets kind of boring, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I'll play like they ash something or they interact somewhere that's not just beneficial to me. So I will sometimes like roll a dice and be like, are they a good player or a bad player? They're a bad player. They ash the Isolde on the ad. And then or if they're a good player, they hit Hulk. Or, they're forced to hit Isolde on this place, So... sometimes it's just very boring to do this because it's the same combo over and over and over and over. But when you add into like altercations, it makes it better. Maybe when you have the whole deck in French, don't tempt me. I do have some European resources that I can talk to, and they can hook a man up. My entire Crusadia is in German, thanks to my man Flex. And I'm not gonna lie, I like it like that. The ink is just, I think, way better. Darker, and I like it. I mean, look, we haven't even used our like super powerful cards yet. This hand is gonna be fire. Since we are good at the game and we did not our opponent opened at 0 interaction. But if they did, I honestly do not think it would matter. Like, our hand was just so crazy. And if they had interaction, we saw it. So that's what makes this a little bit better. I bet so. I bet playing. That's why I don't like doing stuff on Dueling Book or YuGiOh Pro. I prefer to do them live. I like doing live stuff a lot better. And currently, right now, especially since we're getting ready to move again, I don't have the ability to set up like to live stream my remote duels. Uh, so this is like the best I can do at the moment. But as long as I get to come and chill with you guys, I think it is perfectly fine. Rolling here, Charles, pop of the bow mug. It goes boom, and then there we go. And then we get our despot. And see, I like sometimes like I was like, there's got to be something that we can do after we make the herald here. I was like, what can we do? There's got to be something that we can do to get rid of all this, or like even keep this but get rid of these. But there's really not much, to be honest with you. There is not much you can do. I think we need to do Durandal effect. I think we're just going to add red layer. Maybe red layer is the way to go. I'm not too sure. Just for free discard fodder. Pitch. Well, no, actually, because we're gonna get that from the deck anyway. Summon Renaud. Renaud will add us back to DDR. 7 and 3 are Savage. Savage, go ahead and grab us that old Hulk down here. And then we go ahead and banish Roland and the Balmug. Right there. There we go. For Phoenix Blade, of course. Don't forget that back. Went for him locals with Infernobles. Good job, my man. You know, especially with competitive, the only competitive play really being on like remote duels, and locals are slowly open back up. Local wins matter, man. Local wins do matter. I'm happy to hear that. My locals still have not opened. I've had to travel quite far to get to my locals or compete in remote duels, as if you guys are check out the vlogs and everything. I did happen to get a Brave and Ahsoka Brave, so expect that. I do like airsoft on the side. I love shooting each other with BBs and playing with a bunch of military dudes and love like all that type of like strategy. So I got this so that I could like record my YouTube or my airsoft matches and probably do a airsoft channel just to kind of like on the side. I enjoy like war and battle and history, but I also like also a fan of I'm So Angry, and I like his point of view duels, but I don't want to steal that idea because I'm not going to steal someone else's idea. Instead, I think I'm going to start doing local vlogs and call it the Local Crusade, and then just every time I go to locals, just vlog it and vlog the whole thing. That way, I'm not like knocking off I'm So Angry. And if I ever start that secondary airsoft channel and you want to see a Yu-Gi-Oh nerd wearing a Mandalorian like tactical helmet, come check it out. It's pretty. I'll put a link when I get there. We'll go ahead and activate this. Go here. Go here. Roland and this become. Here we go. We've technically ripped one card already. I mean, technically we could have ripped more, but kind of just been playing here. And then we go ahead and banish this, rip 2. And our board is still Charles, Boo Boo. And then we can just go ahead and equip the Ogier before we move on. In phase, Roland will send Metal Silver and add a stack of Renaud, so we have a crazy follow-up. Charles will equip the Metal Silver and then equip from the deck Oliver. And right there, you ladies and gentlemen, you have a Omni-Negate. Omni-Negate that is also a Macrocosmos for hand to main deck. And you have a practically Towers Charles that nothing can be targeted. Charles cannot be targeted. Nothing else can be targeted because of Metal Silver. And then Ogier says Charles can't be destroyed. So, and then not to mention that if we move our thick hand here away, which is crazy follow-ups for next turn, we do have the ability for a Roland to fire off and come back and pop. It is pretty crazy. And like, there's just the follow-up is still crazy. So let's say you go here, right? Pop something, turn passes. You draw a card, doesn't matter what you draw. You can use the Oliver, sending the Roland to summon itself. And then you can go ahead and make access code here. And then let's just say they have a ton of cards. Pop 3 cards with access. Then use Roland's effect to come back. And then Charles' effect to pop like the 4th card you're missing. The deck just has some... just the follow-ups this deck has is nuts. Just nuts. And something that I think people also forget, or don't know, or maybe they just forget, is Zold forces so many. Zold really does force a lot of cards going to second because you got to remember, not only is resolving is Zold like that combo, but resolving Isolde is a nightmare unicorn. So going second, you can easily resolve stuff and like still combo if that makes sense. So like you summon Isolde, you normally you would summon this because you want to get this out instead. And like imagine you have like Ogier, not Ogier, Oliver in hand, and like a pitch for Oliver. You'd go these and a pitch for, of course, you go these there. You can pitch this, you summon this, pitch a card, shuffle back, or you're just gonna be free anyway because Isolde's gonna send Phoenix Blade. So you're gonna have a free pitchable card no matter what. Pitch Phoenix Blade, shuffle a card back, summon the Oliver, then link Oliver and this into Hulk, and then combo that way. Or if you need out more cards and you still have like Tuner Extender galore, like Renata in your hand, you shuffle a card back, then you take the one card you have in this, and you just go on up into Access Code, and then you can use Access Code to pop 2 cards. So you technically will remove 3 cards, and then you summon Tuner, use this to make Tuner. Unchained Abomination doesn't sound too bad. Mr. Cosmo, Unchained Abomination is not bad, and it definitely has some synergy with Charles, but I highly recommend if you don't want to put down the money for Access Code. I got very #blessed with mine at this box tournament, but I did not play it in the box tournament. I actually was playing Borolo Dragon because you can make it, and then you can just steal opponents' Dragoons, and then you can just steal everything. Really, you can just start stealing stuff. But it doesn't, sadly say, it doesn't clear boards per se. Like it doesn't open up an OTK, but you normally have so much on. Like if you link up into the Borreload, steal their Dragoon, summon your Gearfried, you're just loaded, and then it's just crazy. Icky, I really can't either, and I know that some people consider it a brick, and to be honest with you, it is a brick. It 100% is a brick. The only good equips you play are Durandal, Living Fossil, and DDR because all 3 of those are, well, 1 is a Searcher, 2 are Extenders. Phoenix Blade is a brick, and same with Living Fossil. However, in a lot of my testing, even if you open like some sort of wonky shenanigan stuff like this, you open a brick, but it's not a brick because it fuels the Oliver. You have so many ways to search Oliver that you can just pitch this from your hand regardless. So like you go normal summon, they go, I have Ash, I got to use it now. And you're like, oh no, I opened Metal Silver Armor, I brick. You technically just go reveal, pitch, their combo. So it helps fuel the Oliver follow through or extending through. This card is crazy, so crazy, because it says any monster, spell, or trap that targets one monster must target Charles. And then when you have Oliver equipped, they can't target Charles. So get this, Monster Reborn goes target one monster in the graveyard or either player's graveyard, reborn it. Your opponent can't even Monster Reborn because Monster Reborn targets one monster and they have to target Charles. So they can't even Monster Reborn because Monster Reborn would have to target the Charles, and it can't. That Underworld Goddess, I was actually playing that, and in one of my games, I actually, before I got access code, I just had monsters. I just summoned 2 monsters. He hadn't used his negate yet, and I was like, and I think Isolde was out as well. Isolde, 2 monsters, and I slurped up his Dragoon for that card and won. I played some chinky stuff to kind of like to get by without having to play access code because it was $100, and I'll be, not everybody's on a budget, and I really didn't want to spend this much money on this card, but I ended up selling a lot of my OTS pools and stuff like that from being on remote duels, so like it funded itself. It was 104 and I had 97, so I was at our box tournament. I was like $97, and I'll cash right now for an access code. And my guy who rode up with me, he's like, $97, you say? He's like, 1 second. He went and got it out of his binder, and then he's like, deal. So I got it, and I do not regret getting it. Definitely, if you have the whole deck, this should be the next card you're saving up for, in my opinion. It's just such a blowout card, and it allows to have easier games and stuff like that. But we'll just keep on going. Do one more test in, and I think we'll kind of access. It is really good, and the fact that a lot of times they don't they leave the Auroradon up here. It's just so easy to just like normal summon, make access, and then you have like Harold or Charles and Savage still down, so it's like way more than the game. And Charles is more than likely going to be a 4K monster himself. It's quite crazy. We'll do one more test hand, then I'll probably showcase my quick Crusadia list I've been working on for going second. I'm still not sold on ratios, and I still haven't got enough testing to be super fine with it. And then we'll probably just go ahead and wrap up the stream here. I think an hour long, or almost an hour and a half long, is pretty good. And then we'll try and figure out another date to launch another live stream. But remember, guys, if you guys want to help support the channel, think about becoming a member. Become part of my lovely, lovely family of just a bunch of, like, nerds wearing armor. Pretty fun, actually. And then also, don't forget, check out the Team COG store down in the link down below. Like I said earlier in the video, I don't know if I haven't live streamed for like forever, so I don't know if it's even linked down there. But if it's not, just check out one of my recent videos. You can find it. We have a shirt that's cool, this mat, more mats, a coffee mug, and I should have a hat going up soon. And then I'm going to start working on the spicy, which I'm still waiting for all the votes to come in, a spicy 2-player play mat that is going to be like a Spellground, I think, is what it's going to be. Not a lot, not full art, but going to be pretty cool. It just depends if y'all vote waifu or y'all vote epic, cool, manly, which is the best way I could explain it. Oop. There went connector. All right, let's go. Good old cut. Let's see this hand. Coltwing. Well, should be Coltwing. Renaud. Red layer. Phoenix Blade. So this is pretty bad, but we still have combo. We don't have the ability to play through any hand traps, but we still have combo. Just in the fact of this right here is combo. That is actually quite rough. Really unfortunate. But, I mean, it is what it is. Oh, boy. Special. And then special. We don't even have to use our normal summon yet, which is quite... I mean, that is kind of cool if you really think about it. Like, we just haven't even normal summoned yet. That'd be really nice if we had Ogier or a connector to do a normal summon, because we would be able to hold the Renaud and then pitch this, but connector is a 3 of, and a reinforcement make it a 4 of, and it's not as searchable. Core Wallet was still tier 1. Just wait after the ban list. Going to start taking it to remote dual locals. Defancy, do it. Do it. The people, especially Core, the locals at Core, which Core always has like 32 players max, and they're always like the really good players. I ended up getting second place there, and I lost to an Infernoble in the mirror. And it was just, he won the die roll. I lost game 1. I won game 2. Game 3, my hand was just so bad. But, I mean, even then, like, the deck puts up some crazy stuff. Go ahead and link here for Isolde. If they hand trap the Isolde, all right, so bear with me. If they hit the Isolde with a hand trap, all we do is we cry. We tell them to call an ambulance, and then as they go, what, for who? Or they go, for you, you say, not for me, for you, and you reach across the table, and you smack the hell out of them, and then you just proceed to combo. You don't take that hand trap, guys. That is the crusading way. You pillage them. Just tell them no. They can't hand trap you without your consent. They cannot hand trap you. Pretty self-explanatory. Can't believe people have not done that yet before. But, I mean, this is, I mean, again, like this hand right here will very well prove... that 2 warriors get you Charles and Herald, which is... Oh, I opened it. Yeah, that's right. We'll still get you Charles and Herald, which is still something. It is something that... which is better than nothing. It has to be 2 different. I'm looking for Metal Silver. There you go. You know, yep, you're right here. Best play ever. No, don't even do red layer. Do driver. Make Isolde. Tribute summon for driver. And pass. That is actually the play win. Connor Brown, I should probably get an ultimate. Ultimate Dolphin after I get Collector's Rare Gear Free. There we go. What side deck cards would you recommend if you're going second? I'll show you my side deck real quick. I kind of did earlier, but this hand is... Yeah, the hand was pretty bad, but it was just going to be Charles. I'll kind of showcase the side deck one more time. Card games on motorcycles. Hey, actually get this. So it's so funny you said that. So... story time with Charles right now. So, house we're in now is my in-laws. We were supposed to buy this from our in-laws for a great price that would put me and my wife ahead. House came back appraised, praised way lower than what it did. The parents don't feel comfortable selling it to us at that price, even though it'd benefit us. That's fine. So my dad lives a few blocks away as well from where we were living. He has like a more rundown home. He kind of was like putting a lot of work into it. My dad's old, so he quit. So I told him and my wife were talking, we could just buy that house and have it paid off in 5 years, and then we can resell it, rent it out, do whatever we want to it. Well, my dad has 2 motorcycles, and my dad was like, if you guys buy this house or whenever this house sells, I'm probably going to sell you my Honda. And before I show you guys, it's I've been giving him crap for it because he named it Shadow, and then he painted it to be Bumblebee. So I'll show you guys a picture on my phone since I can't put it up here on screen right here. So I will be getting a motorcycle within the next few months. And then more so car games on motorcycles. Nah, man, I cannot wait to see the look of people when they see a man in a full Templar outfit riding down. Dreamlight, appreciate you showing again. D Fancy, that is okay. I'm not quitting right now. I'm going to showcase my side deck. Then I'm going to showcase my Crusadias. And then the list I'm working on at least. And then I'll probably wrap it up then. But if you want to, just wait for this to finish uploading. You can catch it all the way from the start to the finish. But so like right here's the motorcycle that my dad's given me. And I know it's kind of blurry. But like it says Shadow on it. And I was like, Dad, why didn't you call it Bumblebee? And he straight up looked at me and he said, wait a minute. Why didn't I call it Bumblebee? And I don't know. But my dad's old and senile, so it's okay. So, yeah, so my side deck, to answer your question, is so Judgments are always a card to go first. We always know that Dark Ruler No More is to go second. You have to play a form of spell and trap removal regardless. Now, before I tell you guys, I have never rode a motorcycle before. I normally like 4 wheels on the ground, so we'll see how long. One day the videos might stop, and you might have to be asking what happened to Charles, and be like, well, he got a motorcycle, and we never heard from him again. But you have to play some form of back row removal. Cosmic Cyclone just does not do enough. I hate to say it, it doesn't. I would much rather, if I didn't have Titty Twisters right here, I would even play Hatronade over, if you're playing on a budget, over Cosmic right now, because it just doesn't do much. You hit one card, that's it. When they set 5, it's like Russian roulette. Are you hitting the bullet? I mean, if the gun's fully loaded with 6 bullets, it doesn't matter even if you hit one. You're still going to get shot. So Twin Twisters, the old Titty Twisters here, I keep calling it Twin. I need to call it by its actual name, which is Titty Twisters. It just allows you to solve 2, and it's very much similar to like the old Crusadia strategy. Draco recurs what you pitch. Renaud can recur what you pitch, and sometimes you just combo with 1 or 2 cards. You have 3 cards to pitch. If you have the money, Lightning Storm. Hands down, Lightning Storm. And then I play 6 hand traps currently. I know like some crazy combo people are out there playing 12. I don't want to brick on more hand traps, so I've decided to side the Lancius because Dino, I've read Miscellaneousaurus. I have read Misk. So I want to have this to counter them. And very similar to Eldritch too, if you end up blowing out their back row, you can pitch this, I think. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong deck. But either this or, like, this card is just really good. Also against Bird Up. That's what I'm thinking of. This card, Bird Up loses. Hands down, they lose. As soon as they commit their normal summon to a Tri-Brigade, you pitch this, and then you cry because they have that 1 of Call by the Grave. But if they don't have the Call by the Grave, that is where you practically win. They can't do anything. And then, remember, if they do have Call by the Grave, remember what I just said previously. You tell them to call an ambulance, but not for you, and then you smack the hell out of them. Tell them they can't use that without your consent, and then you move on. And then 3 Kaijus. This should definitely be the Wind Kaiju. You definitely could. Like, it truly, if you did not want to play these and you don't have Lightning Storms, Evilly could do it. Evilly could hands down do it, and this deck has the ability to play without the normal summon in a way. So, like, even if, like, assume they have Judgment or Warning, which Warning is bad, but mostly Judgment. They keep the Judgment, you normal summon, they Judgment. That's the only scenario I'd see Evenly be bad, but at that point, why wouldn't they just Judgment the Evenly? But anyway, Evenly works fine as well. You just need some sort of mass removal, and Evenly actually would probably be better than Titty Twisters here because you get monsters with it as well. It can be huge. Especially if you combine Dark Ruler with the Evenly, it's just free real estate. It's just crazy. So that is my side deck. I do think you have to play in this format. You should play a Kaiju for sure. I don't have the Wind Kaiju, and I am not going to pay $10 for rare. Not happening. So you need a Kaiju because it serves multiple purposes. Of course, you Kaiju the Wind Barrier statue, but also Dragoon. You can Kaiju the Dragoon, and then all that anxiety and stress and anger you have built up, the cholesterol rising. You just get rid of that because you Kaiju'd it. But yeah, I truly agree. And then, like, again, if your deck can play Forbidden Droplets, but I prefer this over Forbidden Droplets personally. And let's not forget, Forbidden Droplets is almost 100 or something. The pain Charles had against. Oh man, yeah, that is also something. But that is where I believe you could also play. There's an equip spell you can send off Roland. It's called like something of the Dustons. It says the equipped card cannot be tributed. Bro, we are playing a hand loop for deck. Yeah, I guess. But the hand loop only comes up in certain scenarios, really. I'll be honest with you. It's only when you have like that particular hand that I showcased earlier that you can successfully hand loop like that. Most of the time you're hand looping for 2 or 3, but I mean at that point like you are normally ending on like 2 immunity gates and an immovable Charles. So like it's like good luck duelist. That's something I do like about this deck. Like they're like in today's game, you must open a hand trap to be able to play. This deck's like open your hand trap. Go ahead. I will take it from your hand for you. It doesn't care about your hand traps. Like especially if they're like low impact hand traps. Like Bell is like one of my favorite hand traps to actually get hand trapped by, because they'll Bell the first Despot and you're like, cool, and then you'll just use Auroradon's effect to send off the 2 and get back the to send tribute 2, summon out Coltwing, summon 2, summon back Despot anyway, and then just do a weird combo line there. So like Ghost Bell doesn't even hurt. Droll is not that bad. 100% Droll is not bad. That's actually probably where I would say that Shooting Riser shines a lot more. If you get Drolled on your Isolde add, you can just use or even if you get Drolled on your Chalice, your Heritage of the Chalice, and or your Durandal, you just go for Riser and just kind of combo that way. It's pretty it's pretty easy to play through Droll. I mean, like, yes, if your hand is already bad and they Droll you, it's kind of GG. But that's like with most decks that can even play through Droll, is like if your hand is already bad and they Droll you, and that's all you needed was that get that 1 extra search and you could play. It's just how it's going to be. But for the most part, this deck just doesn't really care about hand traps. Imperm sucks. Imperm truly does suck. Hands down, Imperm is the worst hand trap. And if once you play against someone who knows this deck, as soon as they understand what this deck does, or if they've played it before, they know that to wait for Hulk. And that is the entire point of your deck, is to be able to push to the Hulk. So if they don't drop a hand trap on his old, you are trying to look and see that there's a hand with Dolphin. If you have a tuner extender, you summon the Aqua Dolphin off of his old to look at their hand. If they happen to have Imperm, you just do the same play that I showed you to stop Nibiru. It's the same, what you use that same combo or that same kind of line of play to stop Imperm, is you make Herald to stop and protect the Hulk. Because if you do not resolve Hulk, it is going to be rough. But it is definitely winnable because you do have the ability to like hard make Charles in certain scenarios. And on top of that, you also have Gearfried, which Gearfried, wherever he may be right here, Gearfried can just win games on his own. So that's why you play, like, Gearfried is just so crazy. But as I've just showed you, there's like 2 and 3 card combos that put up Gearfried or some form of interruption. I guess I put it wrong. Some form of interruption before you even make Hulk. So in that case, like, you don't even have to worry about Hulk getting hit. And do take note, again, if they do hit Hulk and they you have Gearfried, they hit it with Imperm, worst case scenario, you can summon an extender from your hand. These 2 become, you just have to link away the Gearfried and this into Barricade board, make Auroradon, summon out 3, and then you can practically, if you have another extender in your hand like Oliver, or Olivier, you can just summon him out and then you can combo that way too. That has happened before. But it's just really a lot of hypotheticals. Like if you do truly open a tuner extender, Oliver and or Renaud, it just truly depends. In some scenarios, Renaud is better than Olivier. In some scenarios, Olivier is better than Renaud. But yeah, I think the deck is nuts. I hope to do a lot more of these like testing things where I can like test and test and test, and then showcase, do like test hands, do hypotheticals, to conversate with you guys a lot more. But let's go ahead and wrap up this part. Don't go anywhere, guys. Don't go anywhere. I'll show you guys the list of my Crusadia, and do some hypotheticals with you guys on that before we happen to move on. Because I've been working on that for like I think a month or so. I've just been like testing and testing, doing test hands, running back hypotheticals. So the list is now moved to go second. That's what we're trying to do. The old G Crusadia stuff. I think the deck does not have to go first anymore, because previously the only reason to go first was because we didn't want to lose the dice roll. But now that if we lose a dice roll and are forced to go first because our opponent makes us, we can do it. Olivier, that's exactly right, Mr. Cosmo. So my kind of crappy, my side deck, there we go. So this is currently the list that I have. I'll probably, this is not finished, so like all you guys here on stream are going to get an early view of it. But for the most part, it is not finished. So I'll do like an official deck profile, hopefully within the next few weeks, or not the next week or so once I get done testing with it. I have tons of stuff to like do. Like that's one thing bad about Infernobles is there's so much depth with this deck that I could just entirely do like an entire month long of videos with Infernobles. So there we go. So this is it, guys. This is, if you guys are Infernoble fans, you guys might want to look away, but this is where it all started. The Crusade started here with Maximus. But if you're OGs, you know. So this list is just to go second, and I'll explain my choices as we continue on. And you guys want this awesome Arborea Field Center, message Akami TCG on Discord. If you guys want to comment down at the comments once this is all over with, I'll put it as a Discord name. And you can do that. Or you can go find, I think there is a community post that has this. Find that, message him. He'll get it sent to you. Me and him are in collaboration for this. I did the art. I commissioned the artwork. He's printing the field center. So only way I could do it. So anyway, this is the list. We're just going to go ahead and show a quick spleeter. We're playing 3 of every Crusadia. You could particularly cut on Leonis, but there's no need to. You want to see a Crusadia to win. Nothing has changed here. Not a zip zada nothing has changed here. One thing that this deck has over any other going second deck is Leonis. I know this is like potentially the worst card to see, but Leonis is actually the reason this deck is, in my opinion, the best going second strategy, because Mathmex have no way to do piercing. Cyber Dragon has no way to do piercing. Mineral Atlanteans have no way to do piercing. Leonis gives you the ability to do piercing and gives you that ability to punch, which is crazy. So same old, same old. Three of every Crusadia, not much more. Crazy extenders. We're still rocking these guys here. These can be taken out for hand traps. Very simple. Take these out for hand traps if you want to. I'm just playing straight gas currently because I don't think I have hand traps in yet, but these can be hand traps. I play 2-2, play 3-3. I think cut Gigabyte, and we're at 42 or 41 cards, whatever you want to do. Dino. Dino does not really do piercing. They just burn for 1,000 and send back with Ultimate Conductor. But I'd also argue that Dino is like one more versatile deck that can go first or second as well. But Dino technically, actually, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. I think that this is a better going second than Dino, because yes, UTC is a crazy card and Misk is a crazy card, but we have like, what is UTC to a Kaiju? What is UTC to Crusadia Power? What is it's just you can go on and on. It just really depends on their opening, to be honest with you. Card sleeve girl name. Crusadia Arborea. That is who is on here. If you want this, please comment once this video is uploaded, or go check my community post. It'll have this where you can contact Akami TCG through Discord. That is sadly the only way that you can get a hold of it. And yeah, but I just searched forever, guys, to try and find a distributor to get these made for you guys, and everyone I talked to backed out. The only one that stuck through was Akami. Akami was like, I'll help you out, my man. So huge shout out to him. But Arborea, if you guys want this, just like I said, just check the community poll. But for Kaijus, probably play the Wind Kaiju. Probably play 2 Wind Kaijus here too. So there's another reason why I don't have the Wind Kaiju, is because I'd have to have 5 of them, and they're $10 a piece. That's $50 for rares. You're out of your mind if you think I'm gonna do that. But Kaijus, because you want to play this many. You can play 1 more if you want. For Interrupted Slumber, and because you want to just Kaiju the problematic boss monster. This deck going second can very well chain block and stop cards from hitting, hand trapping and stuff like that. But like, just one thing I do want to stress is that if you don't have Maximus, it's really hard to OTK. So very similar to if LP got hit in the Guard Dragon variant, you couldn't combo. If you're Maximus or you don't hard open Maximus, it's going to be rough. Crown, love this card. This is Our World Legacy. Those who don't know, huge World Legacy fan, but this is Our World Legacy. I wish it did more for the strategy. And as you guys can see, the gunk on my sleeves, I've been testing this deck quite crazy in live testing. One of my friends picked up Dragon Link, and we've been testing like a lot with that deck, since that deck is the best one. But Crown is by far my favorite World Legacy for sure. 1 Codebreaker. So yes, hey my dude, Evolution, how you doing? 0 Day for the Codebreaker combo. So this is here for going first and going second. Very simple. You go second, you make the Codebreaker co-linked, and you pop 3 back row, and then you just OTK after that because you still can. You're going first. This 0-day package allows you to hard make a Appaloosa, so you're able to end on like multiple forms of negation. Instead of like the old Echomax Pass or Avermax Pass, you're able to put up like Echomax app for 2 or 3, and then maybe if you open Parallax Exceed, a rank 4 of your choice. Moving on. I'm not even going to say it. Have you read Misk? I mean, there was a reason I do. I have read Misk. Card is nuts. This is, excuse me, I'm going somewhere. That Have you read Misk got me. These are the 3 Crusadia cards you play. 2 Crusadia Power says your opponent cannot, your Crusadia monster is unaffected by card effects except its own. Crusadia Afushawug, which is Crusadia Revival, is the searchable field spell that you normally grab off Regulix when going second to give him the old punch. 3 Hey True Nade. What is this? Well, this is exactly what it is. I do not feel like dropping a lot of money for Lightning Storms, so I decided to play Hey True Nade. In theory, again, in theory, you play against Zoo Eldritch, you bounce back everything, or they just summon out. They're forced to use all their continuous traps. They summon them in defense, and little old Simba here, Aslan the Lion, does piercing, so that normally sets you up for an OTK that way, and then it kind of, I mean, like, to be honest with you, Lightning Storm would definitely be better, 100%, but I put myself on a budget to where I'm not going to put $300 or $400 for Lightning Storms. But this is my choice of back row removal currently like this, and it has worked actually quite crazy. I'm not going to lie. You just go, Hey Trunade, and it's not once per turn, so that you go, Hey Trunade, they go Judgment, you open 2, Hey Trunade again. It's super powerful. Very underrated when it came out, but this is definitely a budget option for those if you don't have the Lightning Storms, or if you don't want to play like Twin Twisters or like Cosmics. This card will do just fine too. It's bad against Floodgates, so like against Guru Control, they just flip up their. There can be only one, but this deck, that's fine with this deck. We don't care about there can be only one. Move on. Double Desires, Double Desires. Why else? Why not? Draw more cards, get that OTK. Perfect Ash bait, and if you do get Ashed, you just draw Extenders, or you draw into that needed Kaiju to out that Dragoon, so you can one punch over it. Don't want to play 3 because you don't want to draw Desires off of Desires. Slumber. Not much more can be said. Slumber gets you the Kaiju. Very much a hard counter. They have to like hand trap this or negate this, otherwise they lose everything. Double Succession and the Monster Reborn. You have to play 3 targets for your Crawler because you got to have the ability to add something. I know you're going to be like, wait, why are you playing Crawler when this is going second? Because it's very much like I've been trying to say is you're not guaranteed to win the dice roll, and if they prevent you from getting Maximus, you need to have the ability to practically punch for a lot of damage and then be able to restrain them from constructing a board. So that is the entire thought process behind playing the traps. Called by the Grave, I mean, why not? The 2 traps is Gravediggers and Crawler. I've actually thought about cutting this, but this card is extremely good when you're trying to combo going first, and or you're trying to combo going second, depending on what you're facing. This right card, like if some people won't see this coming in the going second, so you make Rafflesia if you're going against like Orcust, and then as soon as they try to fire off that Ding or that card to summon Ding Grave, you just trap hole it. And it also burns for 2,000, which is really good in the game 3 if you're forced to go first because your opponent's like, you're playing going second Crusadia. You go ahead and go first, and then you're just going to wham them with like 3 to 4 interruptions, which is really cool. But you can easily cut these. I would not ever cut Crawler. I know that sounds crazy. As much as this card is a brick in the deck, and I hate seeing it, I would never cut this card. Never cut it. But there's a few changes. Like I said, the ratios with the Hey Trunades and stuff like that I kind of want to tinker with. I also want to tinker with like the World Legacy ratio. I say 2 Successions, but I kind of do like Guard Dragon, even though it's not a Guard Dragon variant. But then again, I don't know. To be honest with you, I would also maybe consider putting in World Legacy World Lance, which would allow an OTK to be a little bit more easy accessible. Or like if you end up getting plowed over, you can just search Lance, and then Lance will protect the Aquamax or the Appaloosa. That is a good point. Like it can protect Appaloosa. The extra is pretty much like old school extra. We are rocking 3 Magius, 1 Regulix, 1 Spatha. You could, in fact, cut the Spath and play Regulix, but there is some shifty shenanigans you can do. Cubic support, how about that? Or Cubic's topped, how about that? Well, I mean, yeah, it happens. I mean, every deck gets its day, and it was just Cubic's day. Then you do double Equimax because you need to have 1. You just need to have 2 in case your OTK gets broken. You play 2 because, like, if you're forced to go first and your ending ward consists of Equimax because he's a powerful negation, and they out Equimax, and you don't have another to build up into to punch again for like the turn 3, you need to have just a second one. But that is it for the Crusadias. Not much more can be said there. Swordsman, Berserker, and Tinny. This is how you combo off. When you make your link to Crusadia, you just go up in that. I was a huge advocate for Foreman Skipper when we got, when that card finally came out, I believe, or Paralytic Seed finally came out, but now it's very similar to how it was before. Gamma is a main deck card. You go Foreman Skipper, you just, and they negate and destroy it, done. Like, that's your entire turn, and that's for going first. You go second. You go second. You just normal summon Skipper, activate one of the 5 negates they put up, negate, destroy, you're done. And yeah, my man, I try to read all the comments like this. I do this more so for the interaction with you guys. So I try to get all the comments that I can see, unless I'm like deep into theory and something like that, to where I'm like fully focusing on what I'm trying to say and comboing. I try to read all the comments and get it out for you guys, because I do this for interaction with you guys, because I do this for you guys. I love doing this for you guys, to be honest. So the more like personal and quality time we get together, we're homies. Almost. Appaloosa. You make Appaloosa with the code breakers. It's what allows us to go first. You can only make it at the bare minimum 2 negates. You can also do 3 negates depending on your hand. But it goes normally this plus Equimax, and then if you're a good guy, you have a you can put a you can put the rank 4 of your choice. There we go. Smack in the center. So, I mean, it is possible. Lean Krebo, because you want to be able to, yeah, I didn't know if it was okay to politically correct to say that, and I do not want to get, like, attacked on YouTube. So, you know what it is. So, Lean Krebo. It's good because you can turn your Paralytic Seed into it. Especially if you just open Paralytic Seed in a Crusadia, you're still able to combo off. And if you're going second, you, of course, go bam here. And I'm a man, Torto. I was mostly playing Infernobles. I'm just kind of showcasing the list of Crusadia, the going second Crusadia I'm working on now. So since you just joined, like I said before, this will be uploaded to YouTube right after, so you can easily check it out and watch the whole video. I show a bunch of Infernoble test hands. A lot of you guys asked me to show particular combos, so I showed those as well. But Ling just allows you to combo if you just open Crusadia plus Paralytic Seed. And also, if you're going second and do that, this allows you to stop a pesky trap that's been in the back row, like Ice Dragon Prison, Punishment, and stuff like that. Link Spider, so when you get whacked with the rock, you can still hopefully OTK through if they decide to rock like their field well. Or if you're going first and you get rocked, you can just make this and still combo out, essentially. Finally, 2 XYZs. Since I am still playing the Gravediggers, which I might not moving forward, but I may. Like I said, this is why this list is not out to the public yet. And it's only going to be for you guys who are in the stream and those who decide to watch till the end get this type of stuff. So we'll find out who the true ones are. Reflage is still in here for that. A Dweller is just a complete blowout. Potentially, if you do remove Gravediggers, I do recommend playing Dugaris, the Watchless. Old Douglas there, who doesn't have a watch on his wrist. He's really good for multiple ways. Monster Reborn, double battle damage, and Monster Reborn, double battle damage, and the draw 2 and discard 1 is really good. But yeah, so this is my going second list currently, and a lot of testing, it's done really good. It's just, you do technically, I think the brick rate is still the same. Like, you still play 1, 2, 4. You only, well, I guess, because you are going second, a lot of times, like, these cards aren't bricks, Slumbers aren't bricks. So you're technically playing, I think, 1 or 2 less bricks in this list, which is okay. But, I mean, it is. I'll never cut Crawler, because Crawler just allows you to have, like, a search. And there's going to be times you're not going to be able to put enough damage on. So you got to have that ability to have a negation to counter your opponent from building their board. So, yeah, so that is the current Crusadia list, y'all. So hopefully I'll be able to have this put up here within the next week, I hope. This entire week I have booked, and then I got to start working on videos for next week. So we'll see what comes out from next week. And then here's my kind of crappy side deck kind of going on here. From the CLS, technically. These are from the CLS. So that's actually coming up in May. So we'll have to just see. Hopefully my locals open up and I can get you guys some local vlogs. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, guys, so thank you guys for coming. I think I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it up here. For those who just arrived, by all means, this will be available for you on YouTube just because I love y'all and I want y'all to be able to see it. And some of my fans are in Europe. But all you guys watching, please remember to stay safe, stay happy, and have happy crusading. This is Charles, and the live stream is ending.